What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Starladder LAN Tournament Finals 2, as this is the second edition of the Starladder LAN Tournament series. And of course, if you want any other VODs, you can check them out on joindota.com. You can also check them out on Purge's channel. LD is going to bring you a couple casts, so keep in mind there are a lot of places to get to these VODs. I'm sure Sheever probably casted some of them, Epi as well, so there are definitely a lot of places. But if you want to stick around, sit around, stay a while. I'll bring you this next exciting game, last match of the group stages. This determines whether Team Empire or Team Mouse makes it out of the group stages and who will face Navi in the first round, either Empire or Mouse. So it'll come down to this. So we have Darer.Razor up on the Radiant side. Darer, of course, playing rather with the Darer tags, they're putting up a Razor tag. That's pretty cute. And 5, of course, Notorious for being extremely strong on lands, and of course, partying it up, as I think there was a bit of an issue. Vigas was lost in Kiev for a bit, and there was alcohol involved, so M5 was in a bit of trouble. But hopefully this game was probably played after that, and M5 still played very, very well. And this tournament just ended, so please keep the comments spoiler-free for the most part. I'm sure people would not like to be spoiled. I'll try to bring you as many games as possible. I'll bring you this game and at least one of the winners bracket semi-final series, and I'll see if anybody else wants to dual cast the finals with me. If not, then I'll just try to bring you on my own. I might just not post it on DCCom. Anyway, this is a very interesting matchup. Both teams are looking reasonably strong. Both teams took out MTW to qualify for the Starladder LAN finals. I think Darer is looking a little bit stronger overall. They have just beat EG, a very, very strong team in the defense, so both teams looking decently okay. And if you want to watch these two teams as well as a boatload of other international teams, including Mouse, the backup, check out the Beyond the Summit and Dota Commentaries combination casted by Gods, LD, and Lumi on DotaCommentaries.com, featuring a lot of Southeast Asian, a lot of Chinese, and a lot of European teams practicing up for the International 2, and it's going to be really exciting. Nonetheless, this is Starladder 2 tournament, so let's get into this. Keep in mind, Templar Assassins are not, at least heroes like Disruptor and Undying were not enabled in Captain's mode, at least to my knowledge. So we're not going to expect to see those, but still heroes like Rubik's, heroes like Wisp are also still heavily involved. Heroes like Luna, hey, a man could dream, right? A man could dream of a Luna. Anyway, we're going to see Darkseer, Invoker, Leshak being the opening picks, or opening bans by the Darer squad. Meanwhile, Lycanthrope and Broodmother are the bans for the M5 team. And M5, known for being notoriously aggressive, just ganking all over the place, and usually sacrificing a bit of the late game. But they also have some very signature heroes. They like to pick up Barretter from time to time. They like to pick up Enigma for PGG, of course. And Darer, also a team that's known for some signature heroes. They like to experiment with invisibility heroes like Gondar, Clinks, heroes like that who are pretty burst heavy, who are not the tankiest heroes, but can take down supports very, very quickly. As Nature's Prophet is the opening pickup by Darer-Razor, and how will M5 decide to respond to this? Well, first off, Wisp is in the Captain's mode, so you have to do something about the Wisp. So either they ban it, they pick it up for themselves, or hope to God that Darer does not pick it up for the next two picks. I expect to see a ban at least in the second phase, but I do not think M5, at least, actually, they might have a Wisp lineup in mind. It depends on how much they practice the Wisp. And if you haven't had too much practice with Wisp, you're not going to be too effective with him. He's a pretty difficult hero to use in general. Teams like Navi, teams like NextKZ have seen a lot of success. But still, Wisp is neither of these two picks. We see a Sand King and a Tinker being picked up. So Tinker going to be used to counter some of the global presence of the Nature's Prophet. Going for some counter ganks. Of course, a pretty strong laning lineup. Sand King, of course, a very, very strong hero in the European scene. Epicenter, just one of the most powerful ultimates in the game. But still, his effectiveness will start to taper off as the game approaches. But still, if you can get 2 or 3 heroes in a Burrow Strike, very difficult hero to gank with the Sandstorm having such a low fade time, and once he picks up Blink Dagger, he can be extremely mobile, so he pairs quite nicely with the Tinker in that regard. Meanwhile, we see Enigma and Lone Druid being picked up by the Darer squad. I think this Enigma is picked up. I don't think Darer necessarily had an Enigma pick in mind. I think they just want to prevent PG from picking it up themselves. And with this Enigma and Lone Druid pick, we see Darer focusing a little bit more on their mid to late game strategy. They have the Black Hole, one of the most powerful late game ultimates in the game, if not the most powerful ultimate. They have Lone Druid, a hero who's definitely seen a resurgence in the European Dota 2 scene, and is probably one of the most powerful carries in Dota 2 at the moment. But you can be ganked, so what will M5 decide to do? Will they go for a bit of late game strategy as well? There are very few heroes that can match up against Lone Druid, when it comes down to late game, only heroes like Morphling, Void, who's a very powerful counter carry, I guess, who initiates with the Chronosphere and can just pick off opponents through that. But still, Void is a hero I do not expect to see. He just takes too much time. Meanwhile, Lone Druid, all he really needs is phase boots and boots. And if he's left uninterrupted, he can get a pretty fast relic. And once he gets that, he's good to go. He should get 2 towers very, very quickly. So M5 has to make a decision right here. Will they go for gank? Will they go for a bit more team fight? Or will they just wait for the second round of banning phase? But still, Dare's definitely made their game plan known. They're going to split push with the Nature's Prophet and the Lone Druid, with having a backup plan with the Enigma in the team fight, and still Lone Druid transitions extremely well to the late game. So keep that in mind. Still, there is a Wisp pick being picked up, or there's still a Wisp left in the hero pool. There's not too many strong gankers on the Dare squad, unless they want to go for a support who likes to gank quite a bit. But still, I do not expect Dare to pick up a Wisp, as you see M5 hiding the strategy very cleverly with the Windrunner being picked up. Windrunner, of course, a natural counter against Syllabear. Not really a counter, just a hero who's very, very annoying for the Lone Druid to deal with. Just because it's so difficult to micro your bear and your hero away from the Shackle Shot. And having the bear such a big target with that Shackle Shot makes it so easy for Windrunner to land them. So we're going to see the Lich being banned by the Dare squad, saying that, alright, our problem is that our lanes might not be the most powerful. So if we ban the Lich, then we're going to have a bit better of a chance to get into the lanes. And of course, M5 known to pull out the Lich from time to time, so definitely cannot underestimate them. Beastmaster's responsive ban by the M5 PG doesn't really indicate too much. Beastmaster, of course, a very, very strong hero with the roar, with the axes. But still, it might be a preventative ban from picking up a BKB hero for themselves. But what BKB heroes are left in the pool? I guess you can go for a Morphling pickup as Wisp and Shouty in the last 2 bans. So we're not going to see a Wisp Nature's Prophet crazy split push combination by the Dare squad, as you saw with the Navi versus Next KZ. But still, Beastmaster doesn't really indicate too much, as we see a Rubik being picked up by the Dare squad. So how will Dare decide to lane this? Will they go for Enigma jungle? That's my initial guess at the moment. We'll see which players are playing which heroes, and that'll definitely give us an indication of lanes. Of course, a natural indication is Furion to solo mid, but still we could see a Nature's Prophet jungling it up and just gank out of the jungle. And the Europeans, more often than the Southeast Asian and the Chinese, they like to solo the Rubik just to get a lot of levels. And Venomancer, I'm not too sure if this is the right pickup by M5, and I'll just give you 2 words to say why this is not the best pickup, at least in my opinion. Null Field. And I think now is definitely going to be that Rubik's going to solo mid because he wants to get as much experience as possible. Null Field will just be so useful in this lineup, preventing so much damage in the form of the Poison Nova, in the form of the Windrunner power shots, and in the form of Epicenter, that it's a necessity for Dare to solo the Rubik and just get as many points in Null Field as early as possible. Of course, you don't want to skip his nukes, you don't want to skip Telekinesis or Fade Bolt or Spell Steal, but still you want to get a lot of experience so you can pick up Null Field because it'll just be such an instrumental tool in keeping his teammates alive against this massive AoE burst damage, or AoE damage, not really burst, but a massive amount of magical damage coming in from the M5 squad. And M5 still have a couple options. They can go for a bit of late game. Morphling's still in the pool. Pretty surprised to see neither a pick nor a ban on the Morphling, but still he has faded out recently. Dare, of course, can go for another support or can go for a ganker themselves just to help them out until the late game. As you see a Bounty Hunter being picked up, going for more of a semi-carry ganker support, keep the Lone Druid safe while ganking the support heroes. As Barrett is the final pickup by M5, they're going for all-out mid-game strategy. And this is nothing less than you'd expect from M5, going for pure aggression. And what it's going to come down to, in my opinion, is just how well the Tinker farms. If he can pick up a fast Boots of Travel, and if he can just start ganking all over the map, Lone Druid will find himself under a lot of pressure. Gondar will not be able to keep up because he will not have the highest move speed in the game, will not have too much money for TP scrolls, and will just be having a difficult time if Tinker can pick up a very fast Boots of Travel. So we'll introduce the players and the sides. We have SS playing the Batrider, Admir playing the Tinker, we have Blood Angel playing the Venomancer, PGG playing the Sand King, and Vigos playing the Windrunner. Meanwhile, on the Dare squad, we have G playing the Rubik, Artstyle playing the Bounty Hunter, Karkov, who might be Funnick, might be a stand, I'm not too sure. Maybe Funnick could not play in this LAN tournament, I'm not too sure. Although I do remember a Toadcast saying Funnick, so I assume this is Funnick, if not, it's a stand-in. But he's playing the Enigma. Meanwhile, we have, I think, Mag playing the Lone Druid, and who's going to be playing the Nature's Prophet is Goblin, or Goblin. So already we're going to see a Rubik laning. We're going to have a Nature's Prophet jungling, and we're going to have a dueling of a Gondar Enigma top up against the winner. And that means we're going to see, I think once Batrider spots out the lane, they did a nice job in predicting this Batrider versus Lone Druid lane. And just analyzing this lane a bit, it's a pretty annoying lane as a Batrider player myself, because the bear just does a lot of damage. It's pretty difficult to handle the massive thwacks of the bear paws. But still, it's pretty easy to kill the Lone Druid once you get enough sticky napalm charges, just because he doesn't have any reliable stun or slow unless he's laning with somebody. And still, once he hits level 5, he has a very unreliable stun in the form of the Entangling Roots, which does latch people to the ground, unlike in Dota 1. But still, he doesn't have any sort of spells that keep the Batrider in check. So Batrider should be able to farm relatively uninterrupted. I expect for SS to go for a very fast Blink Dagger, as we're already going to see some roaming by PG and Blood Angel. Can they get a gank off? No wards by the Darius squad spotting out this gank. So it looks like G is going to be in a lot of trouble. Let's see who's going to initiate. Will there be a Gale initiation? The tower spots out PG. Gale initiates, manages to latch on nicely on G. Here comes Admir. Can he get the last hit? Looks like Venmers is going to come in. Laser and a couple more hits, and Tinker does manage to get the first blood. Nice gank by M5, and that's going to really help the lane out against the Rubik. Tinker versus Rubik. Rubik has a bit more range. Tinker, of course, has a larger mana pool, can do more damage because both heroes are relatively squishy. But still, the longer you can delay that high level of no field, the better. And looks like M5, they're just going to smoke up a gank. Will they go for another gank up on G? No wards by the Dare squad means that these two heroes can roam uninterrupted. And I will see what's going to happen there. But after that, I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts on Sand King roaming. As we see G suspect something, they saw the heroes. Will he go to the river? No, he's just going to go towards there. Will there be a Nature's Prophet teleport in? Goblin just standing out in the middle of nowhere as G is just trapped in no man's land. And M5 is just like, okay, we won't chase you. We'll just get some experience, steal some from our Tinker, because you're not getting experience either. What you gonna do about it? Come at me, bro. So G is just gonna chill out on the roof. Meanwhile, it's going to be a Gondar and Enigma dual lane as G's going to come back in. Will there be a stun by PG? Will G... No, G turns around. That might be a bit of a mistake. I'd rather he keep running to the side. Maybe just saw Goblin teleport in. But still, a nice gank by the M5 squad. Now Blood Angel and PG are going to have to back away from Goblin, who has a couple treants to his command. But still, level 2 Nature's Prophet. And considering they've killed Rubik twice, a nice start for M5. I expect Tinker to go for very fast. Already has a bottle. So he's going to pick up boots relatively soon, and once he picks up boots, travel, and soaring, it'll be extremely difficult to stop in the mid-game. But still, I'm just going to make my thoughts on roaming Sand King clear. If you've watched any of my Dota 1 commentaries, you know my thoughts very, very well. Because Southeast Asians love a tri-lane and a roaming Sand King, and let me just get it straight, I do not like it at all. Because Sand King is a hero who just does not scale nearly as well as other initiators or gankers when it comes to mid to late game, and he gets countered by items like Mechanism, like Pipe, and like Null Field. So I'd rather Sand King be the primary farmer in a lane, if not just be in the dual lane with the occasional creep kill here or there. As a ganker, I do not think he's the strongest because he has a pretty short range initiation in the form of his Burrow Strike. And if he doesn't pick up a fast Blink Dagger, then he'll become pretty useless as the game goes on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is at least my feelings. And of course, European Dota 2 is much different than Southeast Asian Dota 1. So maybe M5 can prove me wrong, as they are going with the try to support the Batrider. So I expect Batrider to pick up the boots and then go straight for that Blink Dagger. But no, it looks like the Sand King and the Venomancer party are going to roam around as is typical of an M5 lineup. Mag, of course, not having too much of a good time. Hasn't even picked up boots for either his hero or his bear, but does have 500 gold in the bank. Meanwhile, will Goblin start some counter ganking? It'll be difficult to see. Winner 6-0, meanwhile Artstyle 18-7, controlling this lane nicely with the help of Enigma. Enigma, of course, denying creeps whenever possible. He's sending his Eidolons in to harass and just farming up the jungle, taking some experience whenever possible. As he's probably going to use his Eidolons to start denying. Yep. So nicely done in that regard. Meanwhile, the ward is finally placed to protect G for a bit. G is just like, I'm having nightmares. I'm a true paranoid pair at the moment. I really just need some protection, and ward's all the protection that you need, although it's not really the best form of protection in every regard. As we're going to see, Mag just retreat. Bounty Hunter managed to pick up a kill on Winner, as Batrider managed to teleport in, managed to pick up a kill on Artstyle nonetheless. So Batrider with the bad case of lane rash indeed, as Batrider SS teleported in, got an early TP scroll, got a kill on Artstyle, and now there's going to be a gank up on Kharkov. Napalms are going to start to be stacked. Enigma does not boots Barra, it does, so Enigma is surely dead. Amir is going to teleport in, and looks like Barra picks up the last hit on the Tinker, or on the Enigma. So that's going to be a nice counter gank by the M5 squad, but still they have to be a little bit concerned. Actually, not really too much cause for concern, considering Lone Druid is not firing very well. But still, I'd rather they put a little bit more emphasis on keeping Lone Druid down. And looks like the Dare squad, Artstyle is going to stay in the middle lane for a bit. Can they get any sorts of ganks off? Admir has a haste rune, so Artstyle should not go in for a gank. Might just go in for some harassment as Admir's haste rune just finally wears off. Looks like Admir suspects something. Here comes the telekinesis and the Janata. Telekinesis playing the Tinker right in range, but a nice laser going to prevent Artstyle from doing any damage in the forms of physical harassment. But M5 sniffed out that gank, or yeah, they sensed that gank, and they're just going to push the bomb tower in response, giving Lone Druid no room to breathe, and Lone Druid's just constantly walking back and forth. Only 11 CS, 5 minutes in the game, really miserable farm. Nice job by M5 exposing the weakness of a solo Lone Druid. He does not have any reliable form of escape, or stun for that matter, so it's going to be pretty difficult to lane against him if there's heavy roamers in the form of the Sand King and the Venom. And of course Barra, once he gets enough stacks, can just go on a rampage. And you can already see Barra, he's going to save it for a very fast Blink Dagger. He should be able to get it around the 8 or 9 man mark. And once he gets to that, he'll just be extremely difficult to gank, as Vigos is going to get initiated upon by Artstyle. Janata doing a bit of damage, no teleport in by Goblin, who did not enough mana to cast teleport and the Sprout. So Vigos is just going to run away, get a rune, or try to get a rune at the very least, and prevent the rune from the Rubik being picked up himself. Vigos spells Invisibility Rune. Will he go for any ganks? Just, it's much too early to make any sort of difference of the gold grab, but still, it's useful to see nonetheless. You can see that Dire has a clear advantage. They picked up an early tier 1 tower on the bottom lane, as looks like there's going to be a gank on the middle lane. Can they get off Sprout for the Tinker? No, that's just Goblin roaming back. But 2,000 gold in the 2,000 gold lead for the M5 squad. They have a couple more hero kills. They got the first split as well, and they got a middle tier 1 tower, but it's still pretty difficult to say. Lone Druid is not farming at all, so it's going to be very, very big issue if Lone Druid cannot pick up farm as fast as possible. Because Lone Druid, is, of course, is a hero who scales very well to late game. He's probably the best late game hero in this game. But still, you'd rather him pick up the farm sooner rather than later, just because Radiance, of course, will lose his effectiveness as time goes on. But still, Radiance Bear will be effective no matter what in this game, as we see a Baron to gank one stack on the Napalm before he starts diving in. They're going to lasso God. Will God die to just a lowly bat? Yes, Admir picks the last hit on the form of the laser. And M5PG is going to come in. Will the M5 squad push? That might be a strong choice by the M5 team if they can get a lot of map control in that farm, as we see Vigos popping Invisibility Rune, going to thwart the gank by the Radiant heroes on the top lane. And will Raid decide to push? It looks like they just want to farm up Artstyle as much as possible. And I can't really say I blame them, because with Lone Druid not farming well at all, they really need Artstyle to have a strong mid-game presence, as Barrader picks up a kill, then immediately roams bottom just to harass the Lone Druid as much as possible. This bat just owning up this bear right now in the lane.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You know, just checking out PG's levels. He's level 4, not close to level 5, or pretty close to level 5, not close to level 6. Tinker almost boots the trial. We'll have it in 150 gold, as Vigos going to get ganked. Here's the track and the Malefice. Rubik coming in with the gank, and Vigos will definitely take the fall. No, Vigos is going to go on the offensive. Artstyle not enough HP to tank the tower. Shackle Shot latching God and Artstyle in place. Venomous Gale as Rubik picks up the last hit, but still, God might take the fall nonetheless. But Rubik, sorry, Vigos buys back, and Blade Angel will go on the offensive. Malefice being casted once more. Vigos getting in position. Can he get the Shackle Shot? Yes, he does manage to latch on Artstyle. Meanwhile, Rubik picks up a kill, and Artstyle just barely casts the Invisibility Rune nonetheless. And will this buyback come back to haunt Vigos? No, Burrow Strike comes in, cleaning up Bounty Hunter, and will Vigos escape? Yes, he will. Meanwhile, Sand King is going to get initiated upon, pops the Sandstorm, but for the second Malefice tick goes off. Nicely done by PG, and now Dare's going to have to retreat because reinforcements, they're not coming in, but still the threat of reinforcements, and considering that both heroes, or all the heroes left on the Dare side of the map, did not have too much mana to work with. So overall, a very interesting engagement. I think it was 2 for 1, but Bounty Hunter did die in that engagement, and in exchange they traded a Windrunner buyback and a Venomancer death for that kill. Meanwhile, Blood Angel has Smoke to See level 4 himself, so you can see the price that M5 is paying with those dual roam. And I'm not really sure if roaming when you have such a very, very strong mid-game lineup, but no real plan for the late game, was such a good idea, just because your supports will get so little experience until the late stages of the game. And heroes like Venomancer, heroes like Sand King, we saw Venomancer drop out of play for Dota for a little bit. Of course, teams against CLG and teams like that, it was always banned and picked nonetheless. But Venomancer did see a bit of a loss, as we see Fable and Powershot just doing a lot of damage against Edmir and the Man Match. And one of the reasons why Venomancer was struggling a little bit, just keeping up in the Dota 2, was that he was sort of played as an off lane, played in the hard lane, leveling up wards, and he wasn't really able to pick up level 11 very fast. And level 11 Venomancer cannot be underestimated. That Poison Nova just does ridiculous damage, as here comes a Powershot. Artstyle going to come in with a track, telekinesis, and Fable picking up a kill. And this is the power of Gondar. Even if he gets off to a slow start, track just gives your team so much more gold to work with, so you can definitely keep that in mind. As it looks like there might be engagements up top. Looks like Karkov managed to get initiated on by the Barrier and the Blink Dagger. I don't know if it's doing a lot of damage to the Barrier, but Barrier still picks up the kill nonetheless, picking up very early Blink Dagger by around the 9-minute mark. And he's going to be able to only level 7, so he's going to have a long way to go before he gets that shorter cooldown on his last. But still, you always have to watch out for the Barrier. He's going to start building tanky. Going to be very difficult to kill him. But still, nonetheless, they have not killed Mag in any of these engagements. He's slowly starting to farm up. Gale's going to be casted. The bear will get respawned, but it dies first nonetheless. And now Mag's going to have to teleport out. And unfortunately for Venomancer, there's nothing he can do. The Shackle Shot was casted, but still, just a split second too late. The Shackle Shot not going to latch unless we see the animation like in Dota 1. Yeah. Shackling the bear and the Enigma in place. Wasting all of 2 seconds of their time. Unfortunate, but still hilarious nonetheless. Enigma going to silence the Eidolons. So, just to go back to what I was saying, as Edmir is going to get ganked on once more by the Artstyle and the G combination. Teleport in by Goblin, and even though Tinker, did he have the Boots of Travel finish? He did match finish that, so that's still nice in regard. Barrier coming in with the Flame Lasso. Do they have Flame Break to cast? No, looks like the Rubik will survive with a little bit of HP. Goblin, can he escape? Sprout going to be cast. Barrier and Winner are going to be able to clean up the Nature's Prophet nonetheless. Unfortunate that they cannot kill the Rubik, but still picking up 1 kill in that exchange. And Barrier is starting to become a bit of a problem. He picks up Tranquil Boots, going to give him a bit of extra move speed, and of course, without a bottle, having that extra bit of regen always nice. Just so you can heal up and go back into the fountain, but still won't be very useful in terms of regenerating up your mana, and won't give you too much tank ability like the Treads, as it's going to teleport in by Tinker. Tinker picked up Boots Child, but has died twice in that time. So nice job keeping the Tinker down. And once you keep out the Tinker, that's going to be very, very effective in just stopping any sort of threats against Lone Druid, as the Wrath of Nature and Shuriken doing huge amounts of damage to PGG. PGG just dies in an instant, did not expect a thing. And now Dara just counter-ganking like bosses at the moment. Will they go on the offense for Edmir? Gondar just wandering in the middle of nowhere. Can Eidolons get a power shot? Or no, Lace is going to cast out on the Gondar. Takes a rocket to the face as well. Black Hole being used just on Edmir, but this will be well worth it if they can kill the Tinker a 3rd time since he picked up the Boots of Child. And now Tinker is hurting very, very badly. Gondar picked up another kill, getting that track bonus gold, helping out his Enigma as well. Enigma going to be able to pick up whatever he wants, whether he decides to build for a Mechanism, whether he goes for Treads, or whether he goes for a very fast Blink Dagger. I think Mechanism might be the smartest choice here. Meanwhile, Rubik hitting that level 9 is starting to put points in Nullfield, and it'll just be really difficult to deal with as he's still Plague Ward. It's one of the best skills in the game to steal, just because short cooldown, you can spend as much as possible, 20 mana cost, and it's going to be very difficult for heroes like Barrier and heroes like Tinker to initiate. But just to get back onto the point that I was saying, when you kill Tinker this many times, it really protects the Lone Druid, considering he had such a miserable time farming. Heroes like Tinker, who can just gank all over the map and just are sort of unlimited if he has one more hero, can kill Lone Druid very, very easily, very, very quickly as well, so that there's not too much time to get counter gank support. So killing Tinker over and over again, like Dara has been doing up against Edmir, is just a really, really strong start for Dara in this game. Meanwhile, Barrier is going to get initiated upon by Gondar, and the Enigma Malefice just doing too much damage, and Artstyle gets the last hit. Will PG go on the offensive? PG only level 7, and he gets tracked as well. He might die with a couple more hits. Will he die? He gets a Bro Strike off, hits 2 heroes. Beautifully done by PG, as unfortunately he does die to the Rubik, but Tinker managed to pick up a kill nonetheless on Artstyle. 2 for 1 in that engagement. Will Goblin pick up a kill nonetheless? Laser stolen by God, just doing a ridiculous amount of damage, sending Edmir back. Will they get... Unfortunately, they clumped up for the Venom scale. Will Venomancer pick up a double kill? No, he does not have enough mana. He's going to be forced to back off. Laser doing a bit more damage, but Edmir is going to have to be very, very careful. Rubik spells. He does have enough mana, so here comes Vigos coming in with the power shot. Will they get the Shackle Shot off? Yes, they do on Goblin. Barrier to respawn. Managed to get another sticky napalm and the Shackle Shot. as G, after dying a couple times in that middle lane, has gone unstoppable since. Will he save up for the traditional Blink Dagger? No, if he's going to be trapped. It was a pretty big bounty, and give up a pretty big bounty to the Venomancer, but still nice aggression by Dare. And all the while, keep in mind, Bear's farming. He's just fine with Dare playing 4v5, because once he gets to Lake, it'll be 6v5 once that Bear gets a lot of items. So Bear's just content to farm up. Unfortunately, he hasn't been picking up too much gold, but still is farming nonetheless, picking a lot of experience, level 8. And keep in mind the miserable start he had in the meantime, and now PG has to be careful. Here comes the track and the Janata. Will Bear match get entangled? Yes, first hit entangled. Very unfortunate for PGG as Artstyle picks up another kill, more gold going into the pockets of a Bear. Do Bears have pockets? Well, if they did, they are stuffed with gold at the moment. 2k gold in the bank. So gonna go for that Relic at the moment. Or will you go for Face Suits? No, Relic is probably the smartest choice, just so you can get the Relic sooner rather than later. But 11-11 in favor, or tied up, and now Dare gonna go for the tower exchange, try to even up the tower count. But unfortunately, Glyph was popped, so now Bear and Artstyle are gonna have to retreat for now. You know, Windrunner has not been too big of a factor in this game. Power shotting and shackle shotting is not really close to the mechanism. Picked up a Smoker Seat. They want to go for a lot of ganks as Barret initiates with the Flaming Lasso and the Blink Dagger. This is the power of Barret, just always ganking with that Flaming Lasso. And Kharkov does die to the power of Vigos and Barret. And now Barret can start building up towards tanky items. Will he go for a Hood of Defiance, or will he go for straight BKB, as is so commonly favored by Barret these days? There's still a lot of things that can go through BKB in this team. There's the Enigma Black Hole, there's the Entangling Roots by the Lone Druid. But still, if you can initiate on the Enigma, pick him off, it'll be really, really effective. So I expect Barret to go for a BKB. Nonetheless, as he picks up an OH Gem. Interesting choice. It's going to be really useful in terms of ganking Artstyle and counter-ganking. So they're not going to be trolled by Artstyle too much, is because Artstyle is becoming a huge problem. Just whenever Derek gets ganks, Artstyle is there to cast Track and just get a lot of ganks up on his side of the map. And Mir gonna be in a little bit of trouble. No, Bear's gonna get returned back towards Mag. Meanwhile, PG desperately trying to pick up any levels, but now you can see this is the sad tale of a support slash tri-lane Sand who doesn't get farmed. Not going to pick up a Blink Dagger anytime soon, and by the time he does, Nullfield will just become too big of an issue. Artstyle gets initiated on. Is there any gems? There is a Sentry Ward casting out, as looks like PG might be in a bit of trouble, but will Artstyle die first? No, a couple more hits as PG manages to escape just barely by the skin of his teeth. Will Barret go on the offensive? No, looks like the Bear is a little bit too far behind, and Barret not yet level 11, so his Flaming Lasso will still have a pretty long cooldown. He's going to teleport back to the top lane to try to kill the Kharkov, and if he gets that, he will pick up a kill very easily. Vigos in position. Can he get the Shackle Shot? Meanwhile, Sand King does die. The Shackle Shot does not latch, but Flaming Lasso and the the Firefly going to be enough as Barret picks up a kill, hits level 11, so we'll be able to level up that Flaming Lasso and have a shorter cooldown and start ganking even more effectively. So this Barret are definitely keeping M5 in the game, but still, what is their long-term game plan? I mean, in this case, Barret is the only hero keeping M5 in the game, in my honest opinion. Just because Ticker's getting ganked, Winter's not being too big of a factor. PG and Venomancer are just not getting experience at all. Fortunately for Venomancer, he does have the wards, and he's hit level 9, which is pretty surprising. He has Arcane Boots. He wasn't very high leveled, but now that he's gone to the jungle and started Ancient stacking and killing those with his Plague Ward, then he'll be A-okay. But what is M5's long-term game plan? They really need to get Tinker farmed up as soon as possible. Has only the Soul Ring and 1500 gold in the bank, so it'll be very late in picking up a Hex. Will you go for Shivas to give the M5 squad a bit more burst at? Because slowly but surely, Rubik is getting more points in the Nullfield, going to give his team more and more magic resistant. I expect a Pipe and a Mechanism to be picked up relatively soon by the M5 or by the Dara squad. Let's see. No, Enigma did not go for Mechanism, as we can just check out the items right here, right now. The useful feature of Dota 2. Midas picked up on Goblin. Pretty late Midas, I think. Meanwhile, Drums picked up by Artstyle. Force Staff being picked up by God. Not going for a Blink Dagger, as is so favored by the Navi team. But Force Staff, very, very useful in its own regard. Meanwhile, Mag has Boots of Speed, has saving up for the Relic nonetheless, as they managed to get a kill. Who did they kill? I need to learn these hotkeys. But sometimes hotkeys bug out, as Lone Druid did take the fall. How much gold did he have in the bank? Oh, he had the Relic money. That's really unfortunate for the Lone Druid. So really, really unfortunate for Mag, as we can just check out the farms right here. Very, very low farming game, but overall, Dara does have the advantage. You can see that only 2 heroes are above 50 CS on the M5 side. Meanwhile, 4 heroes on the Dara side have above 50 CS. So the gold graph should be overall
Dire's middle tower
pretty
is under attack.
even. In fact, Radiant has the advantage. They have fewer kills, but they are out farming the M5 squad as there was a blink in by the Batrider. Can they initiate? Here comes Fiji, Fade Bolt, and the Shuriken going to pick up an easy kill. God blinked in with the Burrow Strike, going to force staff himself out. Firefly being casted by Batrider. Can they catch up to God? If Vigos manages to land a Shackle Shot, they will, as Sticky Napalm going to be casted. Will Sticky Napalm be stolen? No, he's going to stick with the Burrow Strike. And right now, M5, they do not have any momentum. They are up in terms of kills, but their team is designed for the mid-game, and they've only taken one tower. Bear is going to pick up his relic relatively soon,
Dire's top
and
tower
meanwhile,
is under
Necrobook is
attack.
being picked up by the Nature's Prophet with the help of that Midas, and he's going to become a bigger and bigger threat as the game goes on. So I have to question, what is M5's game plan? Barrett is pretty much the only saving grace for the M5 squad, and unfortunately, Barrett does not scale nearly as well as other heroes in the late game. Flame Glass, of course, a very useful tool any stage of the game, just because it goes through BKB and can drag heroes out of position, which is so important, as the pause is called. And I guess I might as well figure out what the reason for this pause is. No, looks like the LAN was having a bit of an issue, and we're surely going to unpause very, very soon because both teams are on LAN. So we will see how that shows up. As you can just see, the gold graph being pulled up once more. 4k gold advantage in favor of the Radiant squad. And slowly but surely, they have the tower lead now. They have more farm, as we're going to see a bit of initiation on the Bear. PG going in position with the Burrow Strike. And now Bear is going to be in a lot of trouble, but he still does not have the relic. If he dies now, it'll be really, really unfortunate for Mag. Oh no, if he dies right now, that's going to be a huge blow for the hopes of Dare. It looks like he will try to teleport out. No, he got 3800 gold, then immediately lost it. Sand King Epicenter being used for insurance. And Mag's going to be thwarted from picking up his relic once more. But still, I don't think it matters how late Rag picks up the relic, because once he does, it'll still be useful nonetheless, canceling the Blink Daggers of the Barra and Sand King, if Sand King will ever be able to find a Blink Dagger in the midst of all this. Only Boots and a Magic Wand for this poor, unfortunate Sand King. So, Mag is free to pick up his relic whenever he wants, if he does not keep dying. And this is a bit sad for Mag at the moment. He's been so close to picking up his relic twice. As Blink Dagger is the first item for Tinker. An aggressive item. An item that gets you in position and can help burst down a hero very, very quickly on the back of the Batrider Blink Dagger. But I don't know if it's really the most useful item in this situation. I'd rather you save up, go for a Hex rather than any sort of Blink Dagger. And it's going to be pretty difficult to maneuver if there are wards on the map against the Nature's Prophet. And I guess it's really just to pick off very, very individual heroes, as Venomancer picks with Deny. Nonetheless, SS is in a lot of trouble. Burrow Strike coming in. Will he cast a Firefly? No, Telekinesis, and the Furion doing too much damage to the Bat, and he does take the fall for once. Will Derek go on the offensive? Admir going to come in with the Blink Dagger. Goblin just dies in an instant. But now Admir's going to be a lot of trouble. Here comes the Midnight Pulse of Malefice, trading a Nature's Prophet for a Tinker, considering Tinker is pretty much your only late game hero. I think that's a trade that Dare will willingly take at this point in the match. And still, 3 towers to 1 in favor of Dare, and they do not have the best early game. They had a weaker laning phase, but still, Bear is going to pick up his relic. Is only 1k gold from finishing his reigns, and once he does, it'll just become so much easier for the M5s. For the Dare squad to push in. It'll be just so much more difficult for the M5 squad to stop the Dare pushes. PG, not even close to Blink Dagger. And this is why I maintain that tri-lane, the tri-lane where Sand King does not get the farm, or as a roamer, Sand King is just not a useful roamer. I mean, you could pick him, but I'd rather you not use the first pickup on Sand King, as the M5 team did in this situation. Unfortunately for them, they did not anticipate the Tinker being ganked as much once he picked up the Boots of Travel, and Tinker has not been too big of a factor in this game. Meanwhile, just checking out overall the farms, you can see that Batrider and Tinker overall have more kills than deaths in their team, but still not performing very well. As I think I accidentally turned on the Fog of War video. Man, I need to get better at this. Jesus. I'm sorry guys, I'll learn the hotkeys. As free camera is enabled. Jesus. Dang. Oh, I'll block off the replay bar. But still, nothing happened in that meantime. But yeah, that just indicates I really need to learn the hotkeys. Still, the hotkeys are pretty buggy for me, so that's why I was a bit hesitant on learning them, because it just looks very weird. Oh, I'm gonna pull off the gold chart. Oh wait, I'm clicking this button and nothing's happening. But we will see how this game shapes up. Goblin, of course, picked up the Necrobook level 2. Gonna pick up the Necrobook level 3 very, very quickly. Will M5 finally claim another tower? No, it was denied by the Lone Druid. Very, very unfortunate. As Sand King's gonna get tracked. Will the Dare squad go in? Enigma, or Tinker blinks out. Shackle Shot latching 2 years. Artstyle and Karkov. This is the team fight that M5 was waiting for. Last being casted on Karkov as Artstyle and the Enigma die very, very quickly. Rubik's going to be the next one to fall. Bear does not have the Radiance, and Nature's Prophet managed to pick off Sand King in the meanwhile. So still 2 for 1, but keep in mind M5 did pick up a tower in the midst of all that. As here comes Mac going to fall. As M5 Vigos managed to pop the regen rune, and now Goblin's going to be in for a world of hurt. This might just be the turning point in the game as Venomancer picks off God in the midst of all that. So very, very nice team fight taken by M5. Very, very odd team fight by Dare. I think once they saw that Gondar and the Enigma shackled together, I think they should have just backed off, left them to die, because Bear losing money for his Radiant all the while, and just there's no hopes of salvaging. M5 thrives on chaotic teamfights. They have Barrier, they have Tinker, who can just teleport in and out of the teamfight, casting rockets and lasers and rearming March Machine. Meanwhile, Sand King did die, but Sand King's pretty much useless at this point in the game. And Vigos, of course, juking people with the wind run, casting shackle shots left and right. And now M5 on the back of that are going to take a very easy Roshan. They do not have much physical damage, but they will kill this Roshan nonetheless. And I expect Tinker to pick up the Aegis. Looks like Tinker's going to go for 4 staff. So he's going all-out mobility. Just not going for any sort of late game build at all. So I'd like this play a bit more if they had a bit more of a tower advantage. But I mean, what are they going to do when Bear eventually picks the Radiance? I mean, it's a long time in coming, but finally he's picked it up. And slowly but surely he's going to get ever so tank with an Assault Cuirass, with a Pipe, with a Vlad's. Whatever he decides to pick up, he could pick up anything he wants. As Artstyle's going to initiate up on Admir, he has picked up the 4 staff, and now Artstyle's going on the offensive. Admir playing way too aggressive. Immediately gets the way just for free, and now Admir's going to be in a lot of trouble. Barrier is coming in for the reinforcements. Will Admir die in the meantime? Barrier going to blink in with the Flame Glass. So glasses on God, but it looks like Tinker took the fall nonetheless. Artstyle going to be a bitch home. Artstyle, no, Barrier did lose the gem in the midst of all that. Midnight Pulse being casted, and Venomancer Gale whiffs. So I'm not too sure what M5 is doing. Just straight up, not sure what they're doing. They're just throwing away heroes. Tinker just been out of position so many times, and as a Tinker with the Blink Dagger, you can afford to play more aggressive, but not if you don't have true sight of Gondar. As you see Blood Angel just die, slow and steady, painful death. Now Bear has the reins. Will he go for a push on this tier tower? I don't really think Dare really need to either. I mean, they have the late game, in my honest opinion. It'll be very difficult to stop the split pushing madness, even if you do have a Tinker. Just because Tinker has not been able to show the fact that he's had the map awareness and the presence of mind just to dodge a lot of these ganks. Not to say that he's not a good player. He's obviously 10,000 times better than you. But, I mean, as a Tinker, you should just know, okay, Gondar's ganked me a bunch of times. Maybe I should just watch out this next time so I won't get ganked by this Gondar and any sort of laning combination that he has with him. Meanwhile, Sand King, 800 gold finishing that Blink Dagger, but by the time he gets it, it might be too little too late. Let's just check out Rubik's Null Field. Oh wait, it's level 4. So 20% magic bonus damage on the back of the Rubik. Is there any mechanism or pipe being picked up on the Dare squad? No. Looks like God is going to just go for a straight up Ultimate Orb. Gondar finishes the BKB for himself. Meanwhile, Batrider has picked up an Ogre Club, going to go for a BKB himself. Blood Angel going to go for the 4 staff? It might be a 4 staff. PG just probably smoking the seats after smoking the seats. Not going to, looks like he's just going to give up any hopes of a 30-minute Blink Dagger. And that's pretty unfortunate, but still, it might be the right situation, might be the right call, just because Epicenter will not be too useful as time goes on. Meanwhile, Mag has picked up the Phase Booth. I expect for him to go for some Vlads for some extra lifesteal, just to remain these battles for a bit longer. And, of course, take down tower is much easier on the back of that armor, and the fact that you get more mana regen, which doesn't help in terms of taking down towers, but of course, giving your creeps that lifesteal, which is very important. Eidolon's being scented as M5 is smoked up. It looks like Dare suspects something as they are trying to roam in as 5. Admir going to be initiated on once more. He gets forced out to March Machines doing a lot of damage. Looks like Admir will die to the gun, but rather Flaming Lasso. Epicenter being cast. Enigma cast Black Hole, only casted for 2 seconds. Fable picking off the Enigma, or picking off the Sand King. Vigas is going to run for his life, 2 for 1 in that exchange. And now Vigas is going to have to be extremely careful as Gondor picks up a kill on the Venomancer. Shackle Shot latching God to the bear, but here comes the Sprout. Is there a power shot to clear the trees? Yes, there is. Nicely done by Vigas. Going to wind run out of there. Will he pop the regen rune to escape? Barrier picked up a double kill all the while, and looks like Vigas gets telekinesed. Oh no! Vigas takes the fall. Very, very unfortunate team fight for the M5 squad. They are still leading in terms of hero kills, but you saw Bear was in no danger of being ever killed or ever focused by the M5 squad. And these chaotic team fights, if you do not focus the Bear, you're going to be in a lot of trouble just because that range does so much residual damage to your entire team. So Dare looking very, very strong at the moment. Enigma only chilling a 2-second Black Hole, or 1.5 seconds for that matter. Barrett picked up a double kill, but still, Barrett, although he's become a very, very strong mid-game and early to mid-game presence, he's not a very strong late-game hero unless you build extremely late-game on him. And even then, he cannot match up to the likes of Bear or Nature's Prophet or any of those heroes. Meanwhile, Rubik just doing so much work with that Fade Bolt and the Telekinesis, constantly stealing spells. He has March of Machines just doing a lot of damage in an AoE to the team. And so, of course, it's such a useful spell for pushing. So God just playing really, really strongly after that initial trouble in the lane, just getting constantly ganked, but still after that. And I don't think this Tinker pick is just not working out for M5. They went for all-out mobility, and that might cost him as he blinks in, casts March of Machine. But still, this tower should be pretty much given up for free towards M and the Wrath of his Bear. Gem picked up by the Lone Druid, pick it up off the ground. So now he's going to be able to see wards, and it's going to be so useful to de-ward with the help of that Necrobook. As meanwhile, God managed to pick up a kill on PG with the help of Artstop. And now M5 are in full retreat. And now I don't know what they can really do. I guess if Tinker didn't really go for just Blink Dagger Force Staff, I might have a bit more confidence in M5, but he went for Blink Dagger Force Staff and he's still dying. Gondor is just mercilessly hunting down this Tinker at every point in the map, and it's just so difficult as a Tinker just to keep surviving against this massive onslaught directed your way. Meanwhile, Barra casting Flame Break for Vision. Ward's also being used as Dare going to be sticking around. Unfortunately, M is pretty low HP, as is God, and they do not have too much mana regen. Ring of Health being picked up by M. Might go for a Hood himself, of course, to mitigate some of that damage. Looks like there's a bit of initiation on Vigas. Malefice and Track being used. Can they get the kill? Meanwhile, Sand King going to try it. He gets Epicenter off. Will he get it off? He does manage to get off, but he does die in the midst of all that. Barra to pick up a kill on Rubik, as there's a couple buybacks. PG picked buybacks back as well as Vigas, but Lone Druid picks up a double kill, and they force 2 buybacks, and now they can afford to just back away. The Nature's Prophet might be in a little bit of trouble. Will he die? It's very, very difficult to say as Admir blinks in. He gets immediately entangled. Very, very unfortunate. Malefice being casted once again. Bear picks up a mega kill. Triple kill being picked up by Mag, giving revenge on all those times he was so close to pick up the relic, and he was just denied. And now he's just punishing M5. And keep in mind, M5 bought back with 2 heroes, and they still lost the team fight. I think it was, in the end, it might have been 4 for 1 or 4 for 2. I'd say 4 for 1. 4 for 1 in that engagement, considering that both Vigas and PG bought back. And I don't know if M5 really has a game plan for this stage of the game. They're clearly going for the mid-game all-in strategy, but it's just not working out. Only 2 towers to their names, did not even pick, had the Aegis, but immediately lost it on the Tinker. And unfortunately, I cannot say Admir's play has been very... It's not been the best. I've seen Admir play much better than this. Maybe he's a bit hungover. Or maybe just the game plan by M5 was not the strongest. Gondar very close to finishing his Manta style, has the BKB as well. Goblin has a Necro 3 and an Ultra are going to go for that Heck. We'll just see how the gold graph is looking. You can see Rain has just picked up a huge lead, almost 20k in favor of the Rain, and it's just looking very, very grim for the M5 squad. And their lineup, I think if they want to use Slant, they should have been the Rubik, just because No Field is such a useful tool against Poison Nova, against the Sandstorm, or the Sand King Epicenter. And Roaming Sand King, not the strongest build, in my honest opinion. You know, Bear has picked up Hooded Defiance, going to make him very, very tanky. He was almost brought down below half HP in the midst of all that, but still managed to pick up a trivial kill nonetheless. And now Mag is just slowly but surely getting ever so powerful. Picks up level 16 on that Bear. Will he morph back? He has to morph back to get that HP bonus, buddy. No, he's not going to morph back. It's just like Dota 1. You have to morph back and then recast in order to get the full true form bonus damage and bonus HP. Meanwhile, there's going to be a gank for Admir. Can they pick off Admir the Tinker? No, it looks like he'll escape for now. Artstyle taking some residual damage from them March of Machines. But Dara just slowly controlling the pace of the map. Admir has to constantly be careful. He cannot push it nearly as aggressively just because of the mobile lineup of the Nature's Prophet and Gondar always becoming such an ever-present threat over the heads of M5. Hex is picked up by Rubik. Meanwhile, Enigma has Blink Dagger and is going to go for that BKB. And unless Barra blinks at the Enigma, once he fixes the BKB, it'll be very, very difficult to stop an Enigma Lone Druid combination that cannot be uninterrupted. So, M5 going to try to go farm bottom, push bottom a bit, but still, they can play this game all day. They have the better late game. So, will they manage to get a gank off on God? God is solo. When they're going to try to come in, Barra just jumps away. They were clearly fearing some sort of counter gank, saying, oh, God is playing a bait. This is some next level mind games. God says, I know you guys are going to think this is bait, so I'm just going to play solo and get experience to go that way. Meanwhile, Bounty Hunter picks up an easy kill on Sand King with the track. Sand King just not having a good time at all. Roshan respawning in about 20 seconds. And once Roshan is given to the Silver, there's not much hope for the M5 team. Enigma getting very, very close to that BKB. Soul Ring mechanism just giving them a lot of extra HP. I think I'd rather M5 go for a mechanism. No, they have a mechanism on Venomancer. So, Dara has a mechanism. And, of course, the no field did reduce a lot of that magical damage. Flame Break being casted, pushing the Bear away. He's separating him from his fuzzy friend. And Rubik managed to pick up a kill on Blood Angel nonetheless. So, M5 gonna give up this Roshan pretty much for free. No Vlad's giving any sort of lifesteal, but Pipe is up on the Lone Druid, and he can resummon the Bear anytime he wants. Looks like Tinker's gonna teleport in. Can they get Artstyle? Flame Lasso being casted in Artstyle. Here comes the Black Hole being casted by Kharkov. Gets 3 heroes, but unfortunately no follow-up damage, and Kharkov might be in a little bit of trouble. Looks like Vigos might be the next one to fall. Maleficent being casted. Nature's Prophet picks up the kill with the help of the Wrath of Nature. I am going to come in, but so tanky. Tanks the full length of that epicenter, and PG and SS going to die very, very easily. Very unfortunate teamfight engagement. They managed to kill the Gondar. Gondar just bought back. Gondar didn't die. Excuse me, Gondar did not die in that engagement, and still they got a 3-man Black Hole, no follow-up damage, so M5 was still looking in okay shape, and then Bear came along and just showed them who's boss of this teamfight engagement, and unfortunately, where was Tinker? Tinker could not do anything in that fight, just continuing to bottle up, trying to pick up a very late game Hex, but still, Hex by 40 minutes not going to be too useful against the ridiculous amount of damage being pumped out by the Dare squad. And now the goal graph is just going to speak volumes. Almost 2,500 or 25,000 gold lead for the Dare squad. And slowly but surely, Dare just getting M5 in the chokehold. And just to give you an update on the standings. I'm sure you guys have already known the standing. But if Dare wins this, then Mouse qualifies. If M5 wins it, then Empire qualifies. So Dare making a very strong case for Mouse Sports to get into the winners bracket semifinal. And if Dara wins, then the matchups would be Na'Vi versus Mouse and Dara versus M5 once again. So maybe M5 is just feeling out Dara, just get a handle on some of their strategies and try to bait them into some deaths or revealing some of their strategies too soon. I think Gondar might have been a bit of a surprise pickup. Maybe now they say, okay, next time we pick Tinker, we'll make sure to ban the Gondar. As Barrett are going to come in, get immediately gank Telekinesed and Hexed, and Bounty Hunter picks up a very easy kill. And Track, at least like 5,000 of that bonus gold has to come from Track, just because there have been so many kills in this game. 60 kills in 38 minutes. Ridiculous amount of action in this game. But slowly but surely, I think Derek could just push in. Did they get the Roshan? They did get the Roshan for the Bear. And Bear picks up the pipe. Vladimir's, so now I expect Bear, once Prophet. He has picked up the Hex, so I think Bear can start pushing it. No AC just yet, but still, it's going to be very, very difficult to stop this push with the help of the Bear Aegis. And now Bear just becoming a huge issue for the M5 squad to deal with. PGG just gave up all aspirations to Blink Dagger, only could pick up a Bracer. PGG, not the best game he's ever had, but still, I think that's a mark of the strategy of roaming Sand King rather than PGG himself. Because they got off some early ganks, but still, I don't think it helped too much. I think they had very good laning kills, but too many requires too much experience, and they had no sort of late game insurance. Meanwhile, Blood Angel taking a lot of damage from Shuriken. Ranged, Prophet teleports in, Sprout getting cast on, Vigos power shot being saved just to cut down the trees, gets hexed, and gets owned. So M5, will they go for the killing, or Dare, will they go for the killing blow? It looks that way, as Enigma does not have the BKB, but still can blink in Black Hole if Barrier does not initiate on him. And if Barrier initiates on the Enigma, then people just kill the Barrier outright. He has a BKB, but still will not be able to take too much of the damage being pumped out by the Necrobook, by the Gondar, and by the Lone Druid. Meanwhile, Gondar's got to back the heck away. Lone Druid staying very, very far back. Lasso being casted on the Nature's Prophet, Pipe reducing a lot of that damage. Sand King going to channel the Epicenter. Black Hole being casted on 3 heroes, and PG's going to be the first one to fall. Meanwhile, it looks like Enigma died. Enigma managed to kill a bunch of heroes. Tinker took the fall, buys back, but there is nothing that M5 can do. Great game played by Dare. The only downfalls I'd have to say was they didn't have any wards preventing God from being ganked in the early game, and they didn't pick the Lone Druid, but they did just a beautiful job in just shutting down this Tinker. Gondar just was everywhere on the map, so nice play by Artstyle, shutting down the Tinker of Admir. So GG was called, and now Blood Angel's going to be the next one to fall. Yes, he's going to be rooted to the ground, as already a couple players on M5 have left. Going to be game planning for their eventual winners bracket semifinal match up against the same team in the form of Dare. So I'll see if there is a game, if I can claim that series, but still, if not, I will bring you the Malice vs Navi semifinals match, and I heard it was quite good. So thank you all for watching as usual, as I'll leave you with this final score screen. So hopefully you can excuse a bit of my clumsiness with that initial just pressing the F buttons and trying to pick up graphs and stuff. But hopefully you enjoyed that game nonetheless. Nice use of Batrider by M5, but nonetheless it was not too successful in the end, and you could see just how much gold, how much farm that the Dare squad had in comparison to the M5 team. It was just too much for M5 to overcome, and the fact that Tinker just did not work out, and they did not really have a game plan should their mid-game lineup not work out. So, unfortunately for M5, they did lose, but still did not hurt them too much. Empire has been eliminated, and now M5 can make it into the brackets, face against Dare. Maybe they have a bit more of a solid game plan up against their Ukrainian counterparts. Or maybe Artstyle has just another trick in the bag, and one that he wanted to bring out early before the international takes place. We shall see very, very soon, so thank you all for watching as usual, and have a fantastic day.